evening, everyone. It's Tuesday. Here we are. It's been a hell of a day. Not been a good one. Not at all. I don't even know if I want it to be the weekend or not. Just don't want it to be. Nihilistic? What's this? What is this sudden bout of nihilism that I'm dealing with? What is this called? Oh, right, being a millennial. There it is. There it is. Ugh. Yeah, today was the first day in the 5 years that I've been at this job, going on 6 now, because yesterday was actually my 5-year anniversary at this job. Um, so today was really the first day that I was like, oh, I'm really not liking this. Like, not necessarily the field, but the job that I'm doing. Like, it really just felt like a dead end job today. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going anywhere with this. My salary hasn't changed in a substantial way in 5 years. There's no indication that that's going to change anytime soon. I have more responsibilities now than I did before. And I'm not getting paid that much more for it. It's all been cost of living increases. That was a good feeling. Oh, and I also just had so much to do. So that was cool. Also almost got hit by a car twice, two different instances, one on the way into work and one on the way back. Um, in the bike lane, which is impressive considering both were on Commonwealth Avenue. If anyone knows knows the city of Boston at all, and those are protected bike lanes, so that was fun. Um, Still don't know that I've come down off that adrenaline high. Yeah, that's definitely making today not so great. And then kind of also came to the realization while I was waiting to work out at my gym, not working out, because I didn't actually really get to do a lot of that. I only did half of my routine for today. Today is I call it my day 3, even though it's the first day of the week, but it's meant to be the shortest of my 3-day program, and it's meant to be two 12-minute rounds where I basically just complete a circuit of 3 exercises within that 12 minutes as many times as I can. Um, and I only got to do one of the 12 minutes today, and it took half an hour for me to even get the equipment that I needed to do that. The other, I just gave up on after about 5 minutes of trying to wait. Um, all the equipment was in the trainer only area, which I'm allowed to use since I am a private training client. But there were so many other people there using things in that space that it wasn't even that they were using the equipment that I needed. They were just using equipment in the vicinity of where I needed to use the equipment, and I didn't have the space to use that equipment then. And so it's like, okay, well, I can't do this anywhere else. This is the only place that has this equipment. I can't go somewhere else in the gym. I'm paying $360 a month for this. So yeah, I'm not sure that's worth it as of today. Um, Also, I also forgot to mention that half of the issue too is that there's either missing or broken equipment, even in that space, all the time. And it's been missing or broken for months. And they are aware that it is missing or broken, and nothing's been done about it. So it's like, well, I don't know, guys. How much are you asking me to pay again? And you don't have any resistance bands that aren't visibly dirty and falling apart? Most of them are snapped in half. They're literally just one long half of a band, like a rubber band. It's not even like. Yes. So yeah, Today sucked. I made myself a uh, chocolate ice cream sundae, but like had a little bit of ice cream left after I made how much I wanted, so it's an extra large sundae. And then I started putting the whipped cream on top of it, but then I could tell it was almost empty, so I kept going, and now there's a lot of whipped cream, a lot of cherries, and a lot of chocolate ice cream in this bowl. I don't know that that's necessarily a bad thing, but this is not going to be good later. I'm almost certain of that. Yeah, so it's funny because they actually sent me a thing, a little survey thing that they were like, "Hey, let us know what you think about your experience at our gym." And I didn't answer it when it came to me the other day. I was like, "I'm too busy. I got too much going on. I'll just ignore this." And I saved the email because I was like, "I will try to fill it out when I can," and then just promptly forgot about it. I remembered in that moment though. I never leave like on a scale of 1 to 10 kind of questions where you're supposed to pick a number between 1 and 10. Anything under an 8 for me is like you fucked up. I was leaving fours today. So I was literally like, no, this is bad. Convince me to stay because we're getting there. I have an exercise bike. I have resistance bands. It's not going to be that difficult for me to get a hold of like a simple workout bench and a set of weights. I can put them in the basement and I can have a little space to do my exercises there at home instead. I have 5 programs that were developed for me sitting on my phone. Now, would I prefer to have them continue to be developed for me? Yes. So, like, again, I need the equipment to do that. And you either keep and maintain the equipment that you expect me to use, or you lose me. It's not that hard. And yeah, getting hit in the bike lane was really the like cherry on top of the ride home for the day. Got home and I was just like, I hate everything right now. My God, do I want to just move out of this city? So that was a really fun day. See if tomorrow's better. I don't know. I dealt with a lot more bullshit today too. Like, so when the pandemic hit and we closed down, once we actually had access to the building again, um, once we had access to the building again, we set up a form that allowed mostly faculty and graduate students, pretty much faculty and grads, to request scans. So we requested scans. We opened it up to it being like scans of things that they can't get their hands on right now. We tried to make as much available as we could. We were very lenient because no one could come in. Even if we didn't have a digital edition, we would try to find a way to give them more than they were legally allowed to have, or we were legally allowed to make. But so I as time went on, we kind of stabilized a little bit, especially as we started opening up campus a little bit more, and we started putting in. We had a little blurb that's basically like, how much we can give you is limited by copyright. It's very limited by copyright. Um, and that hasn't stopped people from. Oh, and then the other thing too is that we have another thing on there that's like, is this for a course? Is this for course reserves? Um, the idea being that if a professor just clicks scan and they're like, oh, I wanted this on course reserve, Why did it just get sent to me? We can touch base with them ahead of time, find out what they actually needed. Excuse me. And then go from there. Um, at the beginning, things were going relatively well. People asked for like a chapter here or a chapter there, which is exactly what we can provide. We literally tell people 20% or 2 chapters. That's basically what we can give you. Um, and people were really good about that. And the little checkbox, like, what is this for a course? If so, what course is it for? Was used primarily by faculty. And then we had a couple of grad students, stragglers, who didn't really fully understand the form. They filled it out and they were like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that that was what that was for. I'm sorry." We're like, "That's fine. We just needed to check with you to see if you were like a TA or a proxy or something like that, because then we have to work with you on something different. This is a wholly different process." Well, the person who made the form left. The person who made the form left a couple months ago. The person who now owns the responsibility of keeping that form updated is incredibly busy and has way too much on her plate. So it is very low on the priority list. As it stands right now, it is still available for all graduate students and faculty to request things. And we are getting an increasing number of people requesting that we scan entire books. And it's like, no, we won't do that. It's illegal and it's a lot of work. So no, like we haven't hired anyone to do the scanning, mind you. This is still the same people who have been working this whole fucking time. We have lost people. We don't have extra staff to handle this. We are not scanning your entire textbook for you, Susan. So, you know, that's issue number one. Issue number two is that everybody is checking the box saying that it's for course reserves now. But they're doing that just because they're enrolled in the course. We're getting a lot of graduate students that are just checking the box, putting what course they're working in, putting what course they're actually in and what they need it for, sure. But no, it's not for course reserves. It adds a whole extra day onto the amount of communication that we have to go through to be like, okay, is this really for course reserves? If it is, are you a proxy for another faculty member? Are you teaching the class itself? I can't find any class schedule. I can't find anything on the class schedule that has your name on it. So we need to know what your affiliation with the faculty really is. If you are actually teaching, why don't we have it in our records? We need a letter from your faculty member who you are a TA or a proxy for, letting us know that you have the authority to make these decisions for this course. And of course, they all come back and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was just asking if it was for a course." Okay. It's been a whole fucking year. All right. You've run into this before. You can't keep doing this collectively. We can't continue to do this. So, specific situation that happened today. Um, there is a course right now that is kind of like opera based. And this professor wanted 2 volumes that we had that are the entire phonetic pronunciation and translation of all of the Mozart operas in 2 volumes. Um, we don't have an exact equivalent to an online resources with this thing. The thing that's kind of closest is called IPA Source. The big thing is that while it has the translations, which are great, that's a standard libretto. You can find those pretty much anywhere and very easily. And oftentimes free online, very quickly and easily. Again, it's not hard. The key is the IPA pronunciation guide, where it literally goes like syllable by syllable and tries to teach you how to say those words. Oh no. I'm seeing some problems with my bit right here. What's going on? Are we back? Are we not back? What's going on? Why am I... There are people still seeing me? How many times do I have to authorize this damn thing? Already had 22-second issue. Okay. Is my stream down or is it not down? I'm very confused now. It says that I have a stable bitrate. It drops. All right, so you can't hear me right now then. Cool. What's going on? You can hear me. Okay. Oh, what's going on here? It still says that I have a poor network connection. Except I have a stable bit rate of almost 2,500. I am so confused by this. Ugh. That's what I fucking need. My stream doesn't work today too. Cool. Love that. Anyway. So as I was saying, the 2 volumes of this pronunciation guide and thingamabob translation of the libretto for these operas. And this person has the audacity send us a request to scan both volumes. Each one of these is like 700 pages. And they want us to scan every single page for their perusal. So at first, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take the benefit of the doubt approach here, and I'm going to say, this is illegal. We can't do this. Copyright law. You know, I give them the spiel, 20%. I usually, when someone asks me for an entire score, because that's usually what happens, someone will be like, oh, I need this piece of music. I need the entire thing. And I have to be like, no, you can't have that. We can give you about this many pages or 20%. I did not say how many pages that we could give this person, particularly because I was not sure that that was going to work in this case. Was 20% of 700 is still a fucking lot of work, right? So even though it is then technically, by our own standards, okay to do from a copyright standpoint, we feel comfortable doing this and defending what we do as being copyright compliant, then, you know, anyway. So I email back and I'm like, we can't really do that. Here's why. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize. Can I get 3 operas instead, just 3 specific ones? And if you can't do that, then I would want them in this order of priority, however many you can give me. Each one of the operas is 150 pages. Each opera is around 150 pages. Some a little more, some a little less. And I was like, if I go very charitably and say both volume 1 and volume 2 are one work, quote unquote, one work that is protected under copyright, not individual, then I can give you 2 operas. I didn't say that to them. I went ahead and figured it out myself, started taking it downstairs. As I'm taking it downstairs, I'm like, this is a mistake. I should not be doing this. I go talk to the people down at Reserves and Scanning, and they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, what do we do about this? So we have a little talk. I have to go back and I literally have to be like, we won't do an entire opera. I'll do a section of an opera. I'll do a couple of arias for you, but I'm not going to scan 150 pages for your convenience. When you can physically walk down the street, walk into the library, and pick the thing off the shelf, scan it yourself as much as you like. Which is exactly what he said he would do. He would come down and grab it and scan it himself. I'm like, great, that's all you need to do. I'm not doing your job for you at that point. Like that's the thing that pisses me off. It's like, this is not a convenience thing for convenience's sake. This is a convenience thing for small stuff. It's literally just like I think about it like this. So I don't know if you've ever been to like a full service gas station where they actually do like your windows and everything like that, right? Well, they'll take out the little wand thing and they'll wipe it all down. I feel like it's like that, right? It's a nice little service. It's something they do for free. They don't charge any extra for it. They are happy to just quickly wipe it down and clean your windshield for you. Cool. Well, this was asking me to wash their car. Like, wash and wax my car while you're at it. It's free, right? No. No, there's a limit. And this is it. This is that limit. Yeah. And it's like it just nailed home so many issues with this form that will not get addressed because again the person who now has to handle it is doing too many things and doesn't have time. Like it was very clear at that point after talking to the other people and scanning reserves as well. I'm like, the only people who should be able to see a course association form, the part of the form that actually allows you to associate with a course or course reserves, should be faculty. And we can authenticate for that. We can tell, is this a faculty account? Is this a student account? If it's a student account, you don't even see it. You don't even see it. It cuts down on everything. And we can then just say policy is faculty only can submit reserve requests. That's it. Faculty only. If you want to submit a reserve request through your proxy, you got to do it through email, not this form, right? That's the other thing, Ragnarok. This form does explain that. It has text that specifically says what we can and cannot do, how much around we can do. We are restricted by fair use guidelines, copyright, etc., etc. It's all there. They don't read. And then they come around, they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm like, you read it though, didn't you? You read it. I know you did, because you sent the form in. You're reading it, right? Like, right? So yeah. And then other than that, I actually had a really wonderful interaction today where this was like one of the few moments where I was like, oh hey, I remember this is why I actually like doing some of this stuff. Oh, what the fuck is going on? The hell? Okay. Right. Yeah. um so I mean like the where was I going with it? Oh yeah. So this was the positive interaction for today. The one glimmering ray of positivity. Let me just finish all the negative stuff first. The other thing that just pissed me off today, all the students that are back on campus, we basically have 2 freshman classes, and oh my god, they are annoying the living shit out of me. I preferred it when we had no students on campus. Can I work at a university that doesn't have students? Can we do that? They're just physically annoying me at this point. I almost ran into 3 people today walking around my own workplace and them just like not paying attention. Today I didn't notice anyone who wasn't masking properly, so there was that. Small things. Yesterday, last week, there were a lot of people who were like, you're trying to hide. I can see you with your mask down below your nose. Put that back up, sweetie. The the thing that just has been bothering me about it is like, I have an hour for lunch. I only have an hour. And there are some days where I can kind of give and take a little bit with that. You know, my immediate supervisors are very flexible. They allow me to take my lunch pretty much whenever I want. I don't even necessarily have to tell them that I'm taking my lunch at that point. I just kind of go, and they're okay with that. And it is flexible enough that if like I needed an extra 10 minutes to go grab something, they'll give me the extra 10 minutes and say, whatever, we don't care, it's fine. And then I'll have the full hour to eat. Well, today was one of those days, however, where I kind of boxed myself in. I had something that I had to do at 1:30. I had to be on virtual reference at 1:30. So I was working on this other thing, the positive interaction, which I will get to in a minute, until about 12:30. Because I at that point I had to stop myself and I'm like, if I don't go, I will not get a full lunch break. And I respect my time enough to know that I am taking a full lunch break because that is what I'm, you know, not obligated. I have this issue. It's stronger than allowed, but I am it is given to me as part of my contract, and I am very very strict, even among my immediate office, that I will give you exactly what I am owed to give you for the money that you give me for my time. Period. I work 7 hours and I have an unpaid lunch break in the middle of that, and then I have two 15-minute breaks. I will give you no more of my time until you pay me more. If you want me to pay, if you want to pay for overtime, sure. But the minute that I have stepped half an hour out of line on my timesheet, I've been told you can't do that. We don't have that in the budget. I'm like, okay, well that's fine. I will leave at exactly 5 o'clock then. I literally start packing my bags at five of. I put my sneakers on, take my work clothes off and change in the back of my office, and then I'm ready to go at like 1 minute of, and then that clock ticks, shut down computer, walk out the door. It's great. Anyway, so I'm like, all right, I need to take my lunch, otherwise I'm not going to get a lunch break. I had a couple of like the ready pack salads is what they are. They're, just little bowl things. They have all the little toppings on the top and another little plastic tray, and you just dump that in, and then you get a salad. They're pretty decent. They're okay. They're not like the greatest, but they're easy to pack. They are more varied than eating the same sandwich for 5 days in a row. So, because that's like my other option, because I can buy a couple of these and then have them, take whatever I want. Well, they all kind of expired today. That was their official expiration date, and I saw that coming, and I knew it was ahead of time. But I was like, okay, well, a little. It'll probably last like a day or two longer, right? I can get like a couple more days and like finish most of these at the very least. It'll be fine. It was not fine. The one that I had yesterday was barely edible. It was still edible, and I ate it, but I did not feel great afterward. And that was the moment that I was like, "Oh, I'm not bringing these into work tomorrow, am I? Okay, well, I don't have anything else, so I had to get something to eat at work." I don't really. I've gotten to this point where I really don't like much of anything that's around the area, especially when I want something that's just like cheap, quick, and easy, and I don't really care that much about how nice it is. Like if I go to one of the places that's downstairs in the cafeteria, they're all expensive, and like the sandwich place has it's a pretty good ham and green apple sandwich. Ham, green apple, um, Dijon, and brie brie cheese, and it's delicious. But like it's expensive, and I don't always really want to eat ham and brie. Ham and cheddar is fine, like I just wanted something to eat today, quick. So I'm like, okay, there's a Subway down the street. I can order on Grubhub ahead of time. Let me just do that. So I do that. I do that, and I do that, and I run to the bathroom real quick because I'm like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, then I'll go down to Subway, pick up my thing, come back and eat it. Problem solved, right? Well, while I'm in the bathroom, I get a notification from Grubhub telling me that my order has been canceled. And it doesn't say why. It just says that my order has been canceled and I was not charged. And I'm like, okay, but what about food? So I'm like, all right, let me just go there. There's not usually that much of a line. Maybe they just didn't have something. And I can order something like it, but I have to do like a substitution or something like that. No big deal. Okay, fine. I go down there. This line was wrapped all the way into the next store. And I was like, oh my God, what? So I went to stand in it to see how fast it was going. I mean, at the very least, I'm going to go stand there and, claim my spot while I try and figure out what I do next. I'm standing there and we haven't even budged in like 15 whole minutes. And that's the point where I'm like, okay, I'm just going to get a pre-made salad and a drink and walk out of here. How about that? So I grab those and I go to the counter in the other store. This is a little convenience store. And again, the line snakes through all the aisles. I took one more look at that and I'm like, fuck this, I'm done. So I put the thing back on and I'm like, I guess I'm not eating today. I have to be back to work in 20 minutes. And I don't have any food and I don't have time to stand in any of these lines. That's why I ordered ahead of time. And it's frustrating that it just kind of said, no, you don't get food. As I'm walking back, though, I caught that there's a silver lining to this. As I'm walking back, though, I caught that there was a like a pizzeria place, a little tiny hole in the wall. Um, Nobody was in it. Absolutely nobody. The subway line was like out the store and around the corner, right? Nobody in this pizzeria. And they also do subs. Who knew? So, it's literally like what you expect from like a House of Pizza kind of place. It's not a House of Pizza. There's another one of those which I've also been to, which is also pretty good. But they're all like, it's all pretty decent food, incredibly cheap. And I walked up to the counter. He's like, "Hey bud, hey bud, what you want?" I'm like, "This is so Boston, I love it." And I get a ham and cheese sub, lettuce, tomato, and mayo. That's it, and a Dr Pepper. Like that's literally it. He's like, "Yeah, sure." He starts making it, and bam, it was done in like 5 fucking minutes. I'm sitting there being like, all these kids are standing in line at the subway. This is right here. Like, what the hell? Yeah, which you know exactly what place I'm talking about. This is my first time going there, actually. Um, I just never really bothered. Uh, I don't know why. Maybe it was just because the idea that it looked like it was more Greek than I was looking for. I literally was thinking like, oh, this place is gonna put like tzatziki on everything, and no, they're literally just like a pizza place, and I'm like, oh no, this is what I actually wanted. They're right next to the crepe place, which kind of weirds me out. Like, I have to be in the mood for crepes. Um, it's like I literally walked in and I'm like, I want a sub. That's all I want. I don't want it to be complicated. I don't want anything else on it. I just want like ham and cheese and it's a big sandwich. That's all I want. But yeah, they do have Greek food. You're right. And that's that's awesome. But I thought that was hold on. Oh no. Okay, it's fine. I can hear them meowing outside, and I know that my landlord's daughter is staying with them right now while she's looking for a place. And she has two cats that don't like being inside, so they just escape all the time. And like today, of course, of all days, I try my best to try and keep them in. I think they might be kind of outdoor cats, so it might be okay. Because when I mentioned that I'm trying to do this, she said, "Oh, it's okay. It's no big deal." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." She was more worried about the cats coming into our apartment, kind of invading our space, which has happened only once so far. But I think only once, maybe twice, both times when I'm not there. Um, so I'm still like trying to like block myself in, but like today I just had no patience. I opened the door, cat comes flying out. I'm like, not my fucking problem. Can't deal with this today. Anyway, so yeah, that was the frustration of today. Kind of all in a nutshell. Almost got hit by a car twice. Had shitty lunch experience where I almost didn't get food, but ended up having a silver lining to that at the very least. Annoying customer service bullshit, and feeling like my job is kind of dead ending when I finally get my 5-year anniversary for the same university and got no significant wage increase whatsoever. Yay. Ta-da! Oh, the sub was good. Yeah, the sub was yummy. It was exactly what I wanted. Like it was completely uncomplicated. It wasn't even like it was fancy ham or cheese. It was literally just like, this is ham and cheese. And I'm like, perfect. I didn't have to make it. I love it. um, excuse me. So, the good thing that happened today, excuse me again. The good thing that happened today. So, got a call, um, random call, and I pick up the phone, do the whole thing like, well, hey, hello. Well, hey, hello. Yeah, that's how I answer the phone at my work voice. Hello, university music library. How can I help you? And it's this basic, you know, BS phone sex voice that I put on at this. It really is quite literally like it's silly. But half the time we get phone calls, they are those automated dumb things being like, "Hi, my name is Craig and I'm from Google. I wanted to try and help you update your business profile on Google Maps. Can I speak to someone in charge?" And then you hear the little like mechanical clicks in the background. And you're like, hang up. It's usually like half the time are those things. And so this person starts talking, and I literally had like a zone out moment where I was like, gonna put it down because I'm like, you're speaking too eloquently, too simply, and too straightforwardly to be a human. Let me put you down. And then I heard them go, And I was like, oh, I need to be paying attention. Fuck. So it literally was like a snapped moment. And then I was like, okay, wait, who am I talking to again? What were they talking about? Is this important? I got it all. It was fine. But it turns out it was a violinist, one of the violinists in the Boston Symphony Orchestra. And they had proposed a concert in October featuring this one particular piece that they thought and figured they'd be able to get the sheet music for well ahead of time in order to practice and then perform the piece. Unfortunately, when they looked up how to get it, it was they were quoted like 8 weeks for delivery. And I'm like, 8 weeks? That means they're printing it for you. Like, that's not in stock. Oof. But it turns out that we have the score and the parts. And I'm like, oh, of course. On top of that, this current Boston Symphony Orchestra violinist, one of the best orchestras in the world, and therefore one of the best violinists in the world, certainly somewhere up there ranking wise, maybe not solo, but orchestral for sure, is also an alumnus. I'm like, oh, okay, so like, we should be able to easily do this for you. No problem at all. Well, they're an alumnus from back in the 80s, so they don't actually have an account in our system, which we adopted in around 2015. So we can't check it out to them without an account. But the way we managed doing alumni accounts before was the person had to physically come onto campus, go to the circulation desk, and sign up for an account. However, only current faculty, students, and staff are allowed to walk inside the building because you have to be compliant with university protocols. And you have to have a current ID that allows you to actually swipe in. There's a gate literally opens if you have the ID. And if you don't have the ID, you don't come in. End of story. That's the policy right now. We're working on a policy for alumni, apparently, but hasn't happened yet. So, and you know what? It's fine. That makes sense to me. We need to take care of our on-campus community first and foremost. That's not a surprise. However, I'm sitting here being like, oh no, how do I do this? So I'm going over options with him. I'm figuring out like, okay, do you have like you work for the Boston Symphony? There are a ton of Boston Symphony Orchestra members on faculty. You must be friends with some of them. Can one of them pick it up for you? Well, yes, I have plenty of friends that are on faculty there. They're all on vacation right now. And I'm like, why the fuck are they on vacation? Oh, right, because the season hasn't started yet. They're going on the BSO calendar, not the academic calendar, which is a choice. Again, they're faculty. But okay, moving on. And I'm like, and then I find out that his wife is on faculty for another college in the Massachusetts area. And I'm like, oh, great. Well, you can do interlibrary loan. That usually, and then he's all like, oh, is that like too much of a bother? Obviously, he's never dealt with interlibrary loan before. Doesn't know how like bread and butter ILL is for us librarians. It's really easy to do, very fast for the most part. I mean, our ILL department has gotten books to me that are in the New England area, not necessarily even the Boston metro area, but the New England area within like a day or two. They are great. The longest I've ever had to wait, I think, was a week, and that was for something that came from Korea. So, it's pretty fast. Just out of a whim, I'm like, okay, well, yes, you can do this, but let me just double check their website and see if they have any particular policies that you might need to be aware of. This is a smaller college, so sometimes their smaller college libraries have slightly different policies. Like our university will cover our university library will cover the cost of all of the interlibrary loans for pretty much anyone in the community. Public libraries, for instance, not all of them will. Some public libraries will ask you to actually pay a small fee, and we're talking like under $5. But I wanted to make sure that I was giving perfectly accurate information. And as while I'm reading this page, that they're like, interlibrary loans can take anywhere between 7 to 14 days. And I'm like, what? That's really long. What? 7 to 14 days? I mean, that's what we told people when I was in like my rural university in New Hampshire. Rural. Exurban, I guess, university in New Hampshire. Like, that's what we told them. It was like, oh, it's like 7 days for if you're getting it from California. Sure. But like if you're getting it from like Boston, it'll take a couple days. And it was always a conservative estimate. It was always trying to be like, just be aware this is what might happen, as long as you're prepared to wait that long, just in case. It's not always going to, but just in case. So sure. At that point, I'm like, okay, so definitely bring this up with your wife. Definitely do this. Let me get your email. I'm going to talk to our circulation department to see if we can do anything about getting you an account. At this point, I have already verified that this person is alumni. Problem solved. So I know for a fact that they are legit, quote unquote. So I get all the info, hang up, go downstairs, talk to the circulation manager, who tells me absolutely we can do this. Gives me all the different ways to do it. And I'm sitting there being like, I've never made an account before. I don't know that I'm ready to do that. And they're like, oh, I can make it for you then. I'm like, great. That's exactly what I wanted you to say. And then she just gives me the list of all the things that she needs. I'm like, great. I write this big long email. I send it away. And that was when I decided to go to lunch. It was writing the whole big long email. Once I finished that, I was just like, he was really happy with how this turned out. He was really happy with the service that I gave. And that felt nice. He thanked me profusely several times, and I am going way above and beyond to help him with this. I also just realized I didn't log the transaction in our tracking program. Oops. I'll do that tomorrow. So it was just a nice thing. Like, and when I talked to, I know, Witchy, I know. I am directly affecting your job here, but I will do it tomorrow. I can backdate it. It's not resolved yet, so I don't know actually whether the statistics should be logged at the moment of resolution or the inception. It's an interesting question. There are a couple of multi-day interactions that we have with patrons. Okay, so then I'll wait actually until I find out what he wants to do. Or I'll just wait until enough time has gone by that I assumed he figured out something else. So, yeah, exactly, Ragnarok. They're like a little piece of your favorite snack. Exactly. It's like, oh yes, I like that. So yeah, no, this was a really nice moment. When I talked to my supervisor about it, she was like, oh, absolutely, we should try everything that we can to get this into his hands. We're absolutely ready to be the savior of the BSO. And I'm like, I've never really thought of it that way, but oh yeah, I'm ready to be the one that came and saved 2 concerts, one for an elderly home for the Boston Symphony Orchestra. Like, fuck yeah. Now, mind you, it's just a quartet of the Boston Symphony. It's not the Soul Symphony itself. They have their own librarians to handle that kind of thing. I actually know some of them. They're very wonderful people, but like, woo! Oh man. I'm gonna take a hot 2 seconds to go turn this AC on because I got really warm in here last time. This thing is melting. I need to eat some of it. So yeah, that was my day today. It is now 10 o'clock at night, and I have gone through an entire hour of me bitching about my job. Mm. It was just remarkable because today was really the first day that I really had a moment where I was like, do I have to live in Boston? Do I have to work here? What if I quit? Like, that was not a thought that I had ever really had before. What if I quit? That it was kind of shocking to have it and to be like, ever really gotten to that point in my job slash career? And I guess the little tiny bow wrapping this all up is these are bad thoughts to have on the first week of my last semester of my library degree. These are really not good ways to start the last semester of my library degree where I can be like, did I do the right thing? Whoops. No updates, unfortunately. I haven't checked to see whether they've updated the listing or anything. But the last time I checked, which I think was last week, they still said under review, um, nothing new there. So, similar position at another university. Also, haven't heard anything about. And another position, another similar position. Um, another similar, another similar position has opened up at another university that's even closer, and I haven't applied to that one yet, but I will do by the end of the week. Car update. Car update? I mean, like the car that I was looking at getting? That unfortunately there is no update for. I don't have one, unfortunately. But Elliot, don't feel bad about having a good day. It's a wonderful day. You should absolutely enjoy that, even if it's not a wonderful day for someone else. It's always someone else's bad day, you know? I guess it's kind of like the game of Twitter. The goal is to never be it. So it's always somebody else's bad day. And your goal is just to try and make sure it's not you, I guess. So, oh, that's nice, Ragnarok. This is the one that I know, right? Because you lived with them like pretty much your whole undergrad, right? Pretty sure I know who you're talking about. Oh, Elliot, please do share if you want to. Absolutely. I know what it is, but not my news. Different person. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Hmm. Hmm. Sometimes I wish I had actually gotten into some kind of intramural sport when I was there. I was a music major, though. There was no such thing as free time. Yeah, Twitter. Cesspool of information. Every time I open it, I get a little more depressed. It's frustrating because I feel like a couple months ago it was perfect. All I was getting hit with was memes. Ugh. But then, yeah. Now it's all news. And the news is depressing. So, I am on TikTok though. Although I have somehow found myself stumbling into serious TikTok, and that is a place that I don't want to be. I mean, some of it is interesting. Don't get me wrong, but like a lot of what I'm running into is like COVID-19 or stuff about the Texas abortion law or voting rights, and I'm like, Please show me more funny dog videos so that I can at least laugh a little bit in this hellscape, please and thank you. Like, I can have a little serotonin as a treat, right? Ugh. Which, huge congratulations on. That's really awesome. Hmm. Oh, good. Oh my god, that's really good. I'm glad that finally got resolved. Holy crap. Took way too long, but I'm glad that it's been resolved at least. Hmm. Digishell, I've actually been required to continue a Twitter account for my library degree. I had to resurrect one of my old ones, and I made back in undergrad, which was originally meant to be like, this is my cosplay and networking account, and I actually still am followed by and follow a lot of game industry people who are pretty big deals. um, but I don't use that account anymore, so like I think I've mentioned on this channel before the time that I cosplayed as Miranda, and a bunch of developers from BioWare were like, "Holy shit, this is amazing! Can we take your picture?" and did the whole thing. They followed me on Twitter, and I actually have an account that has like some of the lead writers and designers for Mass Effects 1, 2, and 3, and a lot of Dragon Age 2 that follow it, which is kind of like, well, shit. Um, but yeah, I had to resurrect that because they're like, a lot of librarians are on Twitter now. So here's an assignment. You have to post 10 tweets. I'm like, can I do this today? And yes, I did complete the entire assignment in 2 weeks at the end of the semester. Excuse me. Ooh. I need to sneeze. Hold on. Ooh, the little mic off button is perfect. Health insurance is a scam. Definitely a scam. Anyway, it's game time. Speaking of games, though, so I have been kind of speed replaying, I guess. I don't know, not really paying too close attention to exactly everything that I'm doing, but blasting through Luigi's Mansion 3 for the third time now. And kind of just got me thinking about playing more stuff on my Switch. So I did what? I started playing. I was going to start replaying Mario plus Rabbids, which is an amazing game that I can wholly recommend all around. Um, however, ooh, what the fuck? I have no idea what's going on right now. Is it going to start the game? Oh, okay, it is. Um, so ooh, I forgot to put my headphones on. Here we go. There they are. Um, so I was originally going to replay that, but then as soon as I was pulling up the menu, I was like, I have all of these unplayed games that are sitting on here. Let me look at one of those. One of them was Yooka-Laylee. So I don't know if anyone knows about Yooka-Laylee. If you do, then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, it is a collectathon that is it's a collectathon platformer that is very much not even inspired by. It's literally like a direct homage to Spyro and Ratchet and Clank, like these 2000s open world things. And there we go. These 2000s open world things, and I started playing it. The thing is unrelenting. Like, it replicates the feeling of playing one of these games from the 2000s perfectly for all of its benefits and flaws. Like, ouch. So that's just kind of been sitting there lately. I'm also just like, I'm not sick of Mass Effect 3. We're not there yet, but I am very much excited for when we finish and I can play Psychonauts, because I really want to play Psychonauts. Like, I really want to play Psychonauts, but I don't want to start playing it and then start all over when it's time to stream it. Like, Well, hi, Elliot's mom. So, Digishell, actually, on Life is Strange question, I haven't actually played Life is Strange 2. Have you, and what were your thoughts compared to the original? I'm curious. I don't think there's anything to do on the Citadel, but we will find out.
Spectre status recognized. 1 moment, please.
Oh, black lab puppies are adorable.
Now arriving.
I am a fuzzy dog kind of person, so I'm definitely the whole, like, I'm more golden retriever than black lab.
Spectre status recognized.
I
1
recognize
moment,
this,
please.
but... Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's honestly the same for me, though. Like, I have
Spectre status
Life is Strange 2.
1 moment, please.
I just haven't played it. But I love Life is Strange, the original. It was so good. And honestly, I'm kind of surprised we haven't gotten around to playing that on this channel yet. But big trigger warnings for that one. There's a lot that happens in that, and it is.
Now arriving at docking 1 moment, please.
So, yeah, we've had the dog type talk, for sure. For
Now
sure.
arriving at docking bay D24.
Sergeant, I have a little brother. He went off planet to try and make money.
It really does, but, like, the storytelling for it is so damn good. I can't be mad. I really can't. Like, that's the thing. They don't pull punches. They're gonna show you everything that's wrong with this fucking school. Like, they do not pull punches. And 2015 was such a good year for games, right? Like, 2 of my absolute favorite games were released that year, and they were Life is Strange and The Witcher. 2015 was such a good game. Witcher 3, specifically. Just such a damn good year. Like, Witcher 3 was everything that I wanted from a modern, massive, fully immersive RPG. Almost everything I wanted, I guess I should say. What I really wish I could have had was like full character creation. However, I didn't get that, and that's okay. It was pretty damn close in every other way. Incredibly immersive storytelling. Your choices mattered and affected things both, like, immediately and in a large sense. You could see the effects of your changes. Like, things would be visibly and gameplay wise different as time went on. Like, it was really cool. So good on every level. And then you had Life is Strange, which to this date is the only game that has asked me to make a decision where I had to get up and go for a 2-hour walk before I could make it. Because I knew what was right, but I didn't want to do it. It is still, to this day, the only game that has ever made me do something like that. That has had me in tears as I pressed a fucking button on my controller. It is so powerful, and I loved it. Oh god, it was so good. I both highly recommend it and also really, really, really warn you that it is very heavy. Like, trigger warnings suicide, murder, rape, sexual abuse. There's a long list. You need to be in a really good headspace to play this game. It is harsh, but it is incredibly good. Funny enough, I kind of on that note, I don't follow it, I don't think. But because of Brian David Gilbert, I started watching a lot of Polygon videos, especially their Overboard, because I really liked just learning about new board games and seeing the crew play it. It was just fun entertainment to watch while I was eating for lunches at work. And so the algorithm will continue to recommend a lot of Polygon videos to me because they were all Polygon channel. And one of Simone's recent videos got recommended to me yesterday. It was actually really fascinating. I think it was yesterday. Was it today? Oh, I don't remember. It was either yesterday or today. And it was covering French games and why there are so many video game studios that are based in or were founded in France. Because France is, behind the United States, the second largest video game producer in the world. So it was very much like, why? And she dove into it and found out that there was this whole... It wasn't even just why do the French make so many games, but it was why do the French make so many games and why are they all weird? And apparently back in like the early 2000s or the mid 2000s or something like that, the French government classified video games as an art form officially. So like it turned into this whole thing where they were exploring, like even back in the 80s, they were exploring like really deep, hard topics. While we over here in the United States were like, fantasy. They were like, what if you play a prostitute? Like let's make a text RPG where you play a prostitute. Let's do that. And it's like, it's cool shit. And like, it's interesting to hear some of these companies' histories too, because some of the names you will find familiar. One in particular that was founded in France and used to make really high concept games, known as Ubisoft. I don't know what happened, but they don't make high concept shit anymore. That's for sure. Like, it's disappointing what it is, but it was really neat. And it does kind of play into what we were talking about because doesn't matter. Okay. Because what? Life is Strange is made by Don't Nod, which is a French company. There we go. We found it. All right. Yeah, Life is Strange is made by a French developer. And it was actually really funny meeting them. I got to meet them... I don't remember when. At PAX East at one point. I was dressed as Kate Archer from No One Lives Forever. And one of them recognized me, and that was great. They were like one of 5 people that recognized me that day. And then I made an absolute ass of myself. And I was a really big fan of their game. This was when Life is Strange had not yet released. Or no. Life is Strange Episode 1 had released, but they hadn't released anything else. So yeah, it was 2015. Ha. So it was 2015. Oh, it could have been 2015. I couldn't go to PAX that year. 2014? No, it was 2015. As it was the 14-15 school year that I went to PAX, the 15-16 that I could not. That was it. Okay, so, yeah, 2015, they gave away free codes for the first episode at the panel, so I got to play it, and that was when I got hooked. But I was a really big fan of their previous game, Remember Me, which I will stand by has the best soundtrack of any video game that I have ever listened to. End of story. It is a beautiful orchestral electronic masterpiece of minimalist. I wouldn't even say it's like heavy minimalism, but it is definitely like It is minimalism, but it's definitely more digestible minimalism. Still, Philip Glass, eat your fucking heart out. Like, mwah, amazing, amazing soundtrack. So I was dumb, and I brought it up when they were talking. Well, they're talking about Life is Strange. This wasn't during the panel. This was after the panel, during like they were hanging out in the hallway. So it wasn't like I was putting them on the spot in front of a bajillion people, but I definitely had a very limited time to ask them anything or to talk to them about anything. We had already made that little bit of connection, being like, "Oh yeah, Kate Archer, Known This Forever. I love that game. Oh my god." And then I was like, "So I'm a really big fan of your last game. Are you coming out with a sequel?" Oh, don't ask people that. It's so rude. Hey, I really liked this thing you made. Can you make another one? Personal request from this one fan who you meet in another fucking country. I know that the game flopped and that it didn't sell well and that people panned it overall outside of some really neat moments and some really cool mechanics, but it was billed as like a solid first attempt at games or whatever. Can you make another one? Fuck. So, yeah, I could have handled that better. They were very nice though for French people. This is soup. Is that gonna stay? Okay. Let's say, is that gonna stay on screen the whole time? Like, what's gonna happen here?
I want you to match this against all known locations and update the map. Then contact the field teams for a progress report.
Yes, sir.
I'm Commander Shepard. We've been expecting you. Just a moment. And Hadley, could you gather the Leviathan data for us?
This is weird, because like his face does not match his
Apologies,
body.
Commander.
Does that make sense?
The rest of my team is out investigating leads right now. I'm Dr. Garrett Bryson, and this is Task Force Aurora.
What's your assignment?
Our mandate is to investigate legends, rumors, old stories about the Reapers before anyone knew they existed.
I have not played
It's
Leviathan.
an interesting goal, but is anyone
I
done?
haven't played any of the DLC for 3, so this is totally new to me.
Desperate for intelligence, Reaper motives, their
No idea what I'm
operational
getting into.
tactics. Anything that can give us an edge.
And how did
Other
you
than
learn
everybody
that?
kind of pans it.
The rest of the galaxy says something doesn't exist. I take that as a chance to prove that it does.
So you're in it for the challenge.
For the truth. Even as late as 2148, humanity still thought aliens were a myth. That was within my lifetime. Once that myth was proven to be reality, our entire history changed.
Reapers were part of that reality, too.
But even they have a history, Commander. If we could just uncover it, there may be a weakness we can exploit.
Finally finished the whole thing, Jesus. That was a lot of ice cream. Ugh.
I could have used your help 3 years ago.
Yes. If people had paid more attention to your Prothean beacon, we might not be in this war. But now with new information we've uncovered, a breakthrough's near. Hadley, do you have the data?
Yeah,
No!
I called that.
This is Commander Shepard. I need C-Sec at my location, now!
You shouldn't be here. The darkness can't be breached.
Transit records show his name is Derek Hadley. He's worked here for a couple months.
Shepard, I monitored a C-Sec alert from this location. Were you harmed?
I'm
Okay.
fine, but I could use your help sorting this out, Edie. Take a look through their files. I need to know what this task force was up to.
At once.
What?
Do you have clearance for that? I'm a fucking Spectre.
What's happening?
You tell me.
I was gathering our data when you arrived, and then it was dark. Cold. Like I was someplace else.
A likely story.
I don't know! A gun was in my hand. Dr. Bryson, there was a loud noise.
That was you shooting him.
I didn't do it, it wasn't me! You have to believe that.
So someone else pulled that trigger.
But I would never do that!
Commander, this does resemble reports of indoctrination.
Indoctrination? Me?
What about that Leviathan Bryson mentioned? How does that tie in?
It's some kind of creature.
By the
Our
way,
teams have been
you
tracking
killed your boss.
That artifact came in from our researcher, Garneau. He sent an audio log if you wanna...
What's wrong?
Turn back.
What are you talking about?
The darkness cannot be breached.
Damn it, get him over to the clinic. See if they can tell us what's wrong with him.
Yes, ma'am.
Commander, you'll want to see this. It's an outgoing message from Dr. Bryson to Admiral Hackett.
Dr. Bryson, you have an update? Admiral, the Leviathan of Dis that we've been investigating, I think we're really onto something. Give me the brief. About 20 years ago, the Batarians discovered a Reaper corpse that had died in battle. They covered it up and denied it ever existed. But I'm intrigued by the larger implication. What could have killed the Reaper in the first place? Exactly. That's the real Leviathan. It's worth pursuing. Continue your investigation and update me on the progress.
There is also a follow-up message from a few weeks later.
Admiral, the Reapers are shadowing my field teams as if they're hunting Leviathan themselves. Whatever it is, I believe Leviathan is nothing less than a Reaper killer. Almost an apex predator, and it has them nervous. If we could just find it, imagine the impact on the war. I'm formally requesting assistance in tracking it down. You'll have it. This is now your top priority, Doctor. Find that thing.
It appears we were meant to be that assistance.
Anything capable of killing a Reaper could do a lot of collateral damage.
Yet given the state of this conflict, I believe the saying, "The enemy of my enemy is my friend," may be relevant.
But we won't know unless we can find it.
Bryson's assistant did say they recently received a log from their field researcher. It may yield more information.
Hold on, we're gonna explore this space, because I don't know, explore the space. Oop, hi, Edie. Okay. That's just gonna follow me? Okay. That's, oh, that's really fucking creepy. Yeah. Okay.
This must be the artifact the assistant mentioned. And here's the log.
Dr. Bryson, it's Garneau. I'm sending you an artifact I found. About the only thing I found there, in fact. Maybe it's nothing, but I'd swear Leviathan came through here. I'm gonna crunch some numbers. Burn up the rest of this project travel allowance. Maybe I can project our Reaper killer's movements. I'll check in when I get to the next site.
Garneau appears to be our best lead to track Leviathan, but he does not state a destination.
Let's focus on what he does say, then.
He mentioned extrapolating Leviathan's path.
And crunching numbers. He wasn't flying blind. He had data.
A significant amount of data, judging by this office.
Good thing you're a supercomputer.
Bryson and his colleagues evidently used a galaxy map search program in their hunt for Leviathan. It may help us locate Garneau.
I mean, just plug Edie in and it'll take 15 minutes. Grab a coffee at the Starbucks around the corner of the Citadel, and you can absolutely bet your ass that Starbucks' location's on the Citadel.
Does this tell us where Garneau went?
No, but we may be able to narrow down his location if we find clues he was using in his search for Leviathan.
Yeah, she does have a USB port, but, you know, given the time period, it was USB-B, and that's kind of a weird one to have on hand, especially when everything else is USB-A or USB-C. Also, the USB-B connector has a tendency to just kind of fall out a little bit. That's actually what my mic is connected by, and I absolutely hate the fucking thing. Now, funny enough, the cord that came with this microphone, I lost. So this is actually a printer cable. Like, this is an old printer cable from the printer that came with our Windows 95 computer. I'm pretty sure. Maybe not that old. Maybe it's the Windows XP computer. It's still really fucking old.
These are all murders in which the accused lacked a known motive and claimed memory loss.
Just like Bryson's assistant. You think Garneau was following a trail of blackout crimes?
It is possible. We need to find data matching dates and locations for crimes of this nature.
Here's the time and date chart for the crimes. Can you filter for murders where the killer claimed memory loss?
Adding the search filter, you may examine the results on the Galaxy Map program.
Blackout crimes.
No results. Some of our search parameters may be irrelevant.
Okay. That's not helpful.
Sir, this is Bryson. We know the Reapers are after Leviathan. Studying Reaper hunting patterns could be vital to finding it.
That data is classified top secret, Dr. Bryson. If it falls into the wrong hands...
It won't. The data's encrypted. I'll keep the decryption key safe. Close to my heart.
Aha!
Close to his heart. The hell does that mean?
It means that he hid it in a place that's absolutely
The Reaper fleet activity is encrypted, per Bryson's statement.
somewhere in this
law.
office.
He said he was keeping the decryption key close to his heart. Sovereign, vanguard of our destruction. How's that working out for you, big guy?
Petty bullshit. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Bryson was tracking unexplained creature sightings.
Bryson was not merely tracking sightings. He was attempting to extrapolate a course.
And Garneau could have been following that course. Edie, can you add a search filter for systems along that projected path?
Adding this search filter to the Galaxy Map.
The Thorian. Ba-da-ba-dum. Probably did something similar to the Thorian.
Meteorite fragment, maybe?
He was studying it as an object of importance. We should look more closely at a sample.
Meteorite sample with traces of element 0. Would Leviathan need EZO?
While it is not consumed as fuel during FTL travel, element 0 will decay after several centuries of active use. If Leviathan is old enough, it would need to replenish its supplies.
Okay. Can you give me a search filter for locations with element 0?
Okay, sure. That's just the whole fucking galaxy, but alright.
By Anne Bryson, age 9.
Records indicate Anne is now 28. She works for the Alliance.
Bryson was keeping the encryption key close to his heart. What's closer than family?
An interesting hypothesis, but I detect no trace of the decryption key in this art.
Edie,
March
be
7th,
nice.
2186. I'm looking at the Rachni. Their movements during the
You're not
Reaper
wrong,
War
dude, Shell. We did kind of strip mine the galaxy in Mass Effect 2, didn't we?
Timing is wrong. And Rachni weren't implanted with Reaper tech. What if Leviathan was preparing the Rachni to fight the Reapers?
What do you think, Edie?
It is possible that Bryson's team is using ancient Rachni fleet activity to find Leviathan. If we can find data on the movement of ancient Rachni ships, it may help us narrow our search.
Like this one right here?
Those
Boop.
appear to be sightings of ships that match
Ah.
Rachni signatures.
Can you add a cross-reference for locations of sightings?
Convenient.
Adding it now.
This is a very nice bathroom. How did you get in there? Edie, get out of the shower. Alright, let's go upstairs, I guess.
Another piece of Anne Bryson's childhood art.
Wait a minute. Well, take a look at that.
Encryption key.
I can use these numbers to construct a decryption key.
Who knew?
All right, let's get back to the data pad we found earlier.
Dr. Bryson, per your request, I'm clearing Task Force Aurora for intercepted Batarian communications regarding the Leviathan of Dis.
Commander, the Dreadnought is in custody, but the Solarians may have surveillance footage. Our ambassador will issue a full denial. Give me your preliminary analysis. Several million years old at least, and its technology outstrips anything on the Council. Excellent. Our scientists will work day and night to bring its secrets to the hegemony. One concern...
How'd that go for you?
The real Leviathan of Dis, the thing that destroyed the ship, is still out there. Unaccounted for. Irrelevant. The ship is our priority. And as far as the rest of the galaxy is concerned, there is no Leviathan of Dis. There never was.
How's that working out for you guys? I'm sorry, what's that? There is no Batarian hegemony left? Oh no.
Decryption complete. Analyzing data. These movements do not match the standard invasion pattern. The Reapers are searching for something.
And I'll bet Garneau used this intel. Can you make a search filter for it?
Doing so now.
It looks like I missed one somewhere.
Is this Prothean?
Yes. I believe Dr. Bryson and Liara would have had much to discuss.
Can you add a search filter for locations
There
known
we
to
go.
have Prothean ruins or artifacts?
Of course.
Except I don't think it had anything to do with that.
Reaper activity.
Based on the search results, Garneau is in one of these 5 systems. I have marked the Normandy map with possible locations. We can leave now, unless you wish to further narrow the search.
See if we can narrow it down some more, shall we?
Alien sightings.
Three possibilities.
Element 0 deposits.
We have a match, marking the galaxy map.
Good. Let's go find Garneau.
There we go. Let's do it! I like the whole crime scene investigation thing. That's kind of cool. It is kind of weird to be Sherlock Holmesing with a supercomputer as my Watson. CSI Citadel. I need sunglasses. An explosion behind me. Private investigator to the list of titles. Shit, right. Oh my god. We really do have to, like, actually find a way to list all those. Don't we? Come on. There we go. Oh yeah. Explosions? Shepard? Who? Really? I mean, really? Who would? Oh, okay. I'm sitting here like trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go.
I found something. We have located Garneau.
Oh, hey. Let's pay him a visit. I don't know who I should be bringing here, though. Does it matter? Edie and anyone. Okay, I'll pick Edie and Tally. That works, right? Don't think I need to update anyone's things. Decoy defense matrix. That's cool. I am. Okay.
We're about 5 minutes out, Commander.
Holding my
What exactly
big
is on this
fucking
asteroid?
gun.
Mining facility. TGS Mineral Works. Small operation. Could be a good place for Leviathan to hide.
We've all read Edie's notes on Bryson's lab. Any questions?
Do we have any more information about what Leviathan could be?
Not really. We only know it killed a Reaper.
But it is Garneau, Dr. Bryson's associate, that we are looking for.
Right. If we find Garneau, we find Leviathan.
Well...
Agreed.
The doctor was right. Anything powerful enough to kill a Reaper needs to be investigated. Just hope Garneau has the answers we need.
I'm reading Reaper enemy signatures in the asteroid field.
Oh boy.
Bryson said they were shadowing his field teams. If they're after Leviathan too, Reapers are a good sign.
That's not something you hear every day.
Take us in.
Just half expecting that barrier to, like, just crash.
Don't go anywhere, Cortez. We'll grab this guy and be right out. Keep me updated on the Reaper situation.
Yes, Commander.
We'll grab this guy and be right out. Famous last words. So that is what I have read, is that you should bring your love interest on the last mission. In the first mission, you want to bring Edie. Oh, friends!
Scouting party.
Big scouting party.
What? There we go. Oh, more? There we go.
Let's get Garneau before the serious troops arrive.
These are civilians. They must be terrified.
Friend club. Ooh. One of the Edies just exploded. Ooh. Okay. Does the rolling help?
Welcome to TGS Mineral Works. All guests need to sign in at reception.
They seem awfully calm.
What? Hi. This isn't gonna go well, is it?
I'm Commander Shepard of the Alliance. You just had Reaper troops attacking your front door.
Are they still there?
I've taken care of them for now.
I see. That will be all.
That will be. Hello?
Yes. Welcome to TGS Mineral Works. How can we help you?
Yes. For the tour. Please sign in.
Well,
You don't seem worried about those Reapers. You know something I don't?
TGS Mineral Works is a small to mid-level supplier of tungsten to the galaxy.
That's not what I meant.
Are you familiar with the applications of tungsten?
I'm looking for a researcher named Dr. Garneau. It would have arrived within the last couple weeks. If he's still here, I need to speak to him.
We have no Dr. Garneau.
Do you need to see a doctor?
How about I just go in and look around?
No. The access elevator is broken.
And now, we're done. Step away.
Step away. You don't belong here.
Something's wrong with them. Come on.
no shit, Tally.
Look around. Carefully.
Okay. Here we go.
Living in the ducts.
Where is he now?
Safe. Locked up. He can't hurt us now.
Welcome to TGS Mineral Works. Proud providers of tungsten since 2162.
Oof, okay.
Excuse me.
You don't belong here.
Hi, thanks, nice to meet you too.
You can't be in here.
I will call security.
Aren't you security?
The people seem fearful. It is difficult to determine why. We need to repair the elevator.
I'm looking for a Dr. Garneau.
I don't know what you mean.
Talking to, some really dumb people.
Repair terminal activated.
I'll set the drone to repair the elevator, but we have to stay with it.
Repairs initiated.
Okay. I was expecting that to, something be wrong there.
The security log for the elevator said Garneau was here in the last week. Why would they lie about that?
No idea. Let's hope we don't have to look too far.
Well, the music just got all sinister. Eating practices of Baron? To whoever is moving my stuff.
I see a trend among the miners. They appear to be doing everything but mining.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Turn back. You shouldn't be here.
Have you seen Dr. Garneau?
You shouldn't be here. Evolutionary implications of human biotics. That's odd.
This is a restricted area. Personnel ID number is required.
I don't have that.
Access denied.
Hey. This is weird.
Even estimating 60 days for complete global starvation. That's the merciful route.
Absolutely. That's the data to use. The Turian pain threshold before psychosis is too high.
What pain stimuli is applied more quickly?
Interesting. We should look into that.
What? Fuck.
This is a restricted security terminal. A level 5 passcode is required for access.
I don't have one.
Access denied.
Welcome to the Mineral Lab. Our researchers are always hard at work.
Doing nothing to do with tungsten.
Turn back. You shouldn't be here.
Turn back. You don't belong here.
Yeah, I'm getting that feeling.
Hi guys, what's up? I'm gonna look at your shit anyway.
TGS Mineral Works has an eye on the future. Cutting-edge research drives us forward.
You shouldn't be here.
TGS Mineral Works is focused on
Oh. Hey, that's me. What's up, me? Oh, they don't like me. I mean, that wasn't already obvious.
Attention. Comm system is offline. This message was not sent.
Bryson, it's Garno. I've had to go into hiding, and I need you to come get me. I found another one of those artifacts here. More important than we realized. It's in the mines. Here's the nav point. That's where I'll be. If something happens, I'm attaching a passcode that I hacked together. It'll open any security terminal. Bryson, something is very wrong here. Please hurry. Garno out.
So he's still here. Do we have that passcode hack?
Yes, we just need to enter it at the security terminal.
Why do I get the feeling this is gonna be the button that's gonna fuck my life up?
Punch in Garno's terminal hack and see what it gets us.
Access granted.
The ship dropped him off a week ago.
It appears he had full access at one point before going into hiding.
Unknown male was involved in an altercation in the mines.
Garneau was heading to the mines.
Looks like he was taken to the med bay.
You are in the Mineral Lab, a low security, all access area. The med bay is restricted to authorized personnel with active patient file numbers.
I have the file number.
Let's go get Garneau.
So we're gonna go to the crew quarters first.
This is a restricted area. Personnel ID number is required.
I don't have that.
Access denied.
What?
This is a restricted area.
Boo.
Personnel ID number is required.
I don't have that.
Access denied.
Oh wait, there we go.
Personnel ID. Huh.
Turn back, Commander.
Oh hey, someone actually addressed me with my title. One of them. The most common one, of course. You know.
This is a restricted area. Personnel ID number is required.
ID 231-95.
Access granted.
There we go. There we go. I'm guessing there's probably... Yep. At least one something or other. Well, that person actually said mining operations. You know, actual fucking mining. That's not good. Oops. That is not where I wanted to go.
This is a restricted area. An active patient file number is required.
File 7364.
Access granted.
Hmm.
Is that Garneau?
That's not good.
I hope not, Shepard.
If you are looking for Garneau, you have found him.
Oh, okay.
I am Dr. Garneau.
I'm Commander Shepard of the Alliance. Are you all right?
Yes. Only I'm trapped in here.
That doesn't sound like you're all right. You
What's been going
sound
on in
kind
this
of...
place?
I was doing my research. Until the incident.
They attacked you.
It's true. But aside from my confinement, I'm fine.
Bryson's research led me to you.
Bryson sent you?
He's dead, Doctor. Killed by his assistant.
I see.
I need you to tell me everything you found on the Leviathan. Bryson seemed to think it killed a Reaper.
It's a myth. A dead end.
In your message, you said you'd found an artifact.
I did? No.
Yes, Doctor, you did. But now we've got Reaper forces attacking, so I need to break you out. We'll grab the artifact and go.
Reapers. The darkness must not be breached.
Why do you pursue me?
Doctor?
Leave the artifact. You will not take what is mine.
I don't believe we are speaking to Garneau.
No shit. Why?
You killed a Reaper. I need your help.
You bring only death.
Okay. This is going well.
Someone has cut the power. There he goes.
Leave this place.
Wait! We need to get to that artifact before he does.
He said it was in the...
Garneau's notes gave us a nav point for the artifact.
According to my map, there's a service door at the next tram station.
Looks like we're not the only ones headed that way.
I am noticing a pattern. Despite the law of averages, we never find Reapers moving in a direction away from us.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Edie. Fucking... God damn it. Oop, that was weird. There we go. Can be done. Oh, fucking more.
There he goes.
He's like doing a light jog.
Watch our flank!
Oof. Who's up there? Who's gonna come down from there? There we go. Oh, friends. Friends. I hate banshees. Oh, I am out of ammunition. Das ist nicht gut. Fucking shit. Okay. Why does this not seem to hit banshees very hard? This is a recurring pattern. Alright, I got one. Alright, now that we have destroyed your thingy. Give me a second. Okay, it's done.
There's the door.
Okay, let's find that artifact.
Yeah, well, I said good, we did it, but then there's more friends. There we go. Right. I am covered in guts. What the fuck? Ooh!
What was that? Looks like the door's power supply's been cut.
I'm seeing the trouble spots out there. We could send this repair drone.
But we have to shepherd it. Yep, there.
Unfortunately, the drone is damaged and is on reserve power.
Let's make it quick then.
Stay close to the drone.
Got it.
Oh. See, it's really fucking dumb. Friend.
One repair done, one to go. Gotta hold on a little longer.
Understood.
fun. Korean bullshit. Okay. Ugh. Okay.
The throne's almost out of power.
I hear you.
I'm
on it.
Working on it. Jesus. Tally. Give me 5 seconds. Ooh. You know, I don't think this is what this is for, but I hate Banshees this much. Oh. That was fun. Do I get another one of those? It wasn't quite as fun as the cane.
Let's head
But,
back.
like,
Door should be online.
it was fun. Alas, it seems like that was the only one we're getting. Aww. I like big shooties. Excuse me. That's not the pistol I'm holding.
Like in Bryson's office.
Move! I got a shot. Garneau!
God fucking damn it.
Damn it.
My sentiments exact. Oh, that was weird. That just shrunk and disappeared.
Shepard, over here.
What have you got?
That was not Garneau. This is. It appears he's been dead for a while.
So Leviathan can have Bryson killed, can take over this colony, and he can use them as puppets. Huh. Anything else useful?
Encrypted data, and a personal log with 8 missed calls from a Dr. Anne Bryson.
Anne Bryson.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I'm Commander Shepard. You all right?
I think so. I feel strange, but all right.
Do you recognize this man?
I've never seen him before in my life.
Someone here killed him.
Someone here? How is that possible? I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna have to clean this squatch something fierce.
Do you recognize this man?
I've never seen him before in my life.
Someone here killed him.
Someone here? How is that possible? I'm so sorry.
You tell me anything about what happened to you?
Not really. I remember it just seemed cold. I remember a feeling cold and dark.
If dark was a feeling, that's exactly what I felt.
That artifact, do you know where it came from?
Came out of the mine. Right. Head office was supposed to send someone. That's about all I can...
Cortez, what's your situation? Can you bring the shuttle?
Affirmative. Strangest thing. A couple of minutes ago, the Reaper forces broke off and left.
Reaper. What's a Reaper?
Oh boy.
What
You
year do
guys
think
woke
this
up
is?
to a very bad time.
2176.
Bad news.
76 was 10 years ago.
What?
Let's arrange for these people to be evacuated into temporary quarantine.
Imagine losing 10 years of your life. These people are in for a lot of surprises.
A lot of really nasty surprises. Oh, by the way, the whole galaxy is at war, and Reapers are trying to exterminate all life in it.
Destroy a Reaper, but possesses an indoctrination ability.
Could it
Almost sounds like a...
be a Reaper?
There you go, Tally.
If it is a Reaper, then I want to know what it's...
I don't know that it's necessarily a Reaper, but it's pretty like a Reaper.
Edie, did we get anything from Garneau's
I'm
notes?
extrapolating a little bit from the end of Mass Effect 2 here, but
created a way to block the artifact's mind-affecting properties.
Hmm.
The artifact seems to be the key.
Agreed. When I head back to Bryson's
have this
office, I want
figured
you
out.
there.
Yes, Commander.
I want to know just what the hell these artifacts really are and what they can do.
You and me both. These artifacts are powerful and dangerous.
And we've got one sitting right in the middle of the Citadel.
Yeah, that was a good idea. There's a new message at your private terminal. I don't remember who that is. Alright, what's next? Back to the Citadel? Back to the Citadel? The farmer in the Citadel? The farmer in the Citadel. Yeah. I'm hilarious. I'm hilarious. I suddenly was like, wait a minute, where am I going again? Definitely had a moment there.
We need to shield the artifact they've got here right away.
Using Garneau's data, I should be able to accomplish this without difficulty.
Damn thing's been here the whole time. Why weren't we affected?
Perhaps the amount of time spent near the artifact is key. After a certain duration, it affords Leviathan an impressive mind control capability.
I'd call it dangerous as hell. Bryson's assistant tried to kill me.
Perhaps Leviathan was controlling him to protect itself, diverting people away from its trail.
Maybe. It just shows we don't know what we're dealing with yet.
Despite the risk, this artifact remains our only link to finding Leviathan. Perhaps we could find more information about it here in the lab.
Agreed. Bryson's team might have turned up something we missed. I'll look around.
Come up to the lab and see what's on this lab. I see you shiver with anticipation.
They were testing the artifact for energy emissions.
And found
anything interesting about the artifact's structure?
Oh, shoot.
It is not constructed of the same compounds used in standard Reaper technology. Beyond that, nothing of relevance.
Let's make sure I'm still stable here. A little notification that I was no longer online by one of the game system things. But it seems to be fine. So...
Bryson's assistant Hadley. Do we have an update on his status?
He is in a vegetative state. The doctors believe it is permanent.
But the miners recovered when the artifact was destroyed.
Hadley lost consciousness when he attempted to answer our questions about Leviathan. It may have been a deliberate attempt to silence him permanently.
Oh good. Reapers with a kill switch.
Edie, what
Even
project
better.
was Garneau working on when he found the artifact?
Basilisk.
Got anything on Basilisk?
Several ships, a mythical creature, and a rare mid-tier enemy type in the Galaxy of Fantasy video game. It
Thank you,
possesses
Edie.
a gaze attack capable of triggering synced animation kills. Player forums describe it as overpowered.
No, they don't describe
the
it as
project.
overpowered. They describe it as OP.
Oh.
Use the right terminology.
Then, no.
There's got to be something here on this
Then,
artifact.
No.
What about the server?
Bryson's assistant wiped the office server and destroyed all backups, likely before killing Bryson. However, records show new messages on Bryson's personal comm terminal upstairs.
Could be worth a look.
Figures. Maybe a really nice apartment, but damn, this guy does not know how to decorate. So what the fuck is with the skeleton up there? Like, plesiosaur. Why don't we just have a plesiosaur just lying around? Makes a lot of sense.
A message from Dr. Bryson's daughter, Anne. According to my records, she worked with her father.
I'm at the dig site in the Pylos Nebula. Project Scarab paid off. I've got another artifact like the one Garneau found. I think it could be affecting people's behavior. You need to shield the one in your office. I tried to warn Garneau, but I can't get through. I've got Reaper scouts coming in toward the main site. I'm heading to the secondary base to grab what research I can.
Anne Bryson was attempting to contact Garneau on the asteroid colony. She seems to know something about the artifact.
This is gonna end well.
If Reaper forces were approaching, her concern was warranted.
Let's hope we get to her before they do.
She said she was in the Pylos Nebula, working for Project Scarab. That cluster contains several systems. I'll call up the nebula on the galaxy map. We may also search the lab for clues to narrow down her location.
Right, let's start doing the detective thing again.
The Reapers. Let's hope we find Anne before they do. Can you identify this, Edie?
It originates with a pre-spaceflight culture, but there are none recorded in the Pylos Nebula.
Does anything in Anne Bryson's work history suggest where she might be?
Nothing relevant.
Any idea if Project Scarab involved Element Zero?
Unlikely. We may learn more from the Project Requisitions Locker.
Must
Anne
be
Bryson
Icarus.
flew out on a ship called the Icarus. Can you track its movements?
That's
No.
a name.
The Reapers have disrupted civilian comm buoys, but we might learn more if we find the ship's specifications.
Any correlation between Project Scarab and these unexplained creature sightings?
Not beyond Leviathan itself. There are specifications for several ships here. We need to find the Icarus.
The Icarus. Here we go.
The
Oh, that's
ship
a
has
boring
enhanced
ass
electrostatic discharge cells.
Ship.
They facilitate
Ship.
long-range FTL travel.
So they jumped to the Pylos Nebula by mass relay, then flew to another system.
Yes. Otherwise, they would have chartered a less expensive ship.
Okay, we can rule out the relay system.
The locker is secure. We must locate an access card to open it.
Somebody just left this pad here. Jesus.
Access card for the requisitions locker?
Yes. According to records, it was last used by Anne Bryson to obtain equipment for Project Scarab.
I'm gonna check outside. Don't know if it's gonna yield anything.
see what Anne Bryson requisitioned for Project Scarab. Didn't need an environmental suit. Water recycling equipment.
Based on what Anne Bryson did or did not requisition, the dig site was arid but habitable.
Get me a filter for systems with compatible planets.
Based on the search data, it is one of these two systems. Based on the data, only one system remains a viable possibility.
Good.
Let's go.
Let's go get Anne Bryson.
Get back on the boat. Take the boat out. Get on the boat. Excuse me. Excuse me again. Blah. Thank you. Oh man, I'm tired. All right. Yikes. Actually sleep tonight. I stayed up way too late last night reading my book.
Signal confirmed.
I got to the last part of the book and wanted to finish, but it just kept going, and then I was up till 2 a.m. Oh, I mean, you're running pretty close to the ethics and game journalism people here, so yeah, not surprised, but disappointed.
I found something.
There was an article that I read today, actually. It was about the author was kind of frustrated that the new Saints Row trailer, which is a reboot for the series, was getting ratioed on YouTube. And the thing that, like, there are some people who are actually kind of upset that it's not going to continue in the ridiculous direction that it was already going in.
Signal confirmed.
Which I am one of those people, for sure. It was ridiculous, and I liked it because it was ridiculous. But there are some people who were complaining that it was too woke. That it was too diverse or whatever. And the author was literally like, have you played Saints Row? Like, even the first two games, while they were kind of like slightly sillier GTA clones, they still tackled issues about like toxic masculinity. Like, these were woke from the beginning. And like, yeah, it could be a little offensive at times, but it was still it was completely aware of the source material it was drawing from. And that's one of the reasons why I'm almost half tempted to be like, we're gonna stream Saints Row 3. Because why the fuck not? At some point, maybe. Like, I remember writing an entire article that was around gender in Saints Row 3. Gender, Saints Row 3, Skyrim,
We have located Anne Bryson's dig,
etc. Oh my god, I'm so big yawning. I'm excited about that. Anyone can come. 3 is wonderful. 4 wasn't what I wanted, but it was interesting. I guess, the way I put it. You'll bring all my faves. It's definitely a game that doesn't take itself seriously that much, and I love it for that. Not gonna lie.
We have reports of an attack at this excavation site.
Right. Edie, can you tell us anything else?
I didn't mean to bring Liara to the archaeology site, but
under Dr. Garrett Bryson.
It works.
Staff records confirm the project lead is his daughter, Anne. She has recently uncovered another artifact possibly linked to Leviathan. That discovery must have made this dig site a target.
Yes. The attack means the Reapers are one step ahead of us. We need to pick up the pace. And since Bryson's daughter is our only lead, our objective is clear. Cortez?
Nothing so far, Commander. If she's down there, she hasn't responded to our hails. Getting some strange signals, though. Give me a minute.
The artifact she uncovered may have caused additional complications.
Agreed. Take us in closer.
Copy that.
Well, I'm seeing what looks like explosions, and those look like Reaper big
Take us in.
flying things.
Commander, on the landing platform!
I'll clear it, don't worry. Just give me 5 minutes.
That's her. Okay, let's get...
Tracking multiple boats!
Get us over there!
Negative, it's too hot. Heading to lower platform, hang on! There, go!
Jump!
Good luck, buddy. Bye.
We can't stay here, Shepard.
Oh.
Stable for more.
Move! She's somewhere above us.
Hello? Is anyone there? I'm coming down.
No! Stay where you are! This is Commander Shepard of the Alliance Navy. It's too dangerous. We'll come to you.
Yes, okay. You should take the elevator up on the far side.
Copy that. We're on our way.
This is working out well. This is working out real well, right?
You're here.
Everything's modular. So
Commander, they're swarming everywhere up here.
Can you find a place to hide?
I'll try.
Get there. Stay put.
we gonna talk about this? We're gonna talk about this. It looks like a Reaper, but it doesn't look like a Reaper. What's going on? Can we talk about this? I wanna talk about this! Listen, I just wanna talk.
Watch out! We're not going that way. Look for another path.
Okay. I mean, I wasn't going that way already, so nothing surprising there, I guess. Shouldn't be surprised by it just not working. You know, it's just my luck. Oh, friend. Just fucking okay. least. No? Here? There we go.
Looks like a bridge over there.
Activate the bridge. Are we going to talk about the fucking what the fuck this is?
Controls are broken. Someone try to fix it.
Right away, Commander. The wires have sustained damage. I'll need a moment for repair.
Of course you will.
The bridge has been repaired. Raising it now.
Banshee!
Oh, great.
Got it!
That actually works. It does not. There we go. I thought you said you were raising the bridge, Edie. Why is it not raised? Oh my god, it's really fucking slow. Okay. I'm still not gonna talk about this. Are we really not gonna talk about this? Alright, we're just not gonna talk about it. I'm on the bridge.
That elevator can't be far!
Don't you know not to take an elevator in these kind of conditions? There's a fire. There's several fires, actually.
This way.
Oh, thank you. I guess it actually helped for once. Thank you.
Elevator spotted, Shepard.
Got it!
And of
the
course.
Elevator's blocked. Is there another way up?
I'll override the pod door near you. There's an access point above, Commander, but you'll have to climb to it.
Copy that.
Not that that's anything else that I've not already been doing, just so you know. No. We're gonna run this way.
More enemies ahead.
No shit. Oh, friends. Big ones. How did that feel? Anyone else? Yes? Whatever is going on, the Reapers are very unhappy about it. Oh yeah, definitely still gonna stop at midnight. I am very tired. I am gonna need to stop at midnight myself, so do not worry. With the pace we're taking so far, I think we might be able to finish the DLC. We'll see. I mean, we plowed through this pretty quickly already, so.
We're blocked. Find another way.
Again.
We can make it through here.
Commander, they attacked my assistant Hopkins. We're being cornered.
Stay hidden, Doctor.
We're trying, but there's too many of them. Hurry!
I am working on it. They did not make this easy for me, so, you know, if you've got a pistol, I recommend making some use of it. Just saying. Might be helpful. All these fucking cave drawings. Oh, Jesus. Oh, boom. Okay, that's down.
You still there?
We're barely hanging on. Hopkins is wounded. Are you close?
We're moving as fast as we can. Hang in there.
That platform's coming down.
Around! Go around!
No! Boyles! Stay down! Oh, God!
What's happening?
Carfoot and Boyles tried to run for it. The Reapers got him.
Don't move until we get there.
There we go. I I see you. I fucking see you. Thinking you're clever and shit. What is that? That's what I want to know. What is this big tall boy? Slender Man over here? Like, what the fuck? Oh, that's a... Okay, I am in cover. Do I get like a big gun to shoot this guy with, or do I just have to take him out with my tiny pistol? Because, you know, mood, but also maybe not. Yeah, gross. No! No! Denied. Please no. Oh god, no.
The elevator's up ahead! Get to it!
This is gonna end in catastrophe, isn't it? I'll rename myself Catastrophic, the Boston Catastrophic Wife. Catastrophe Wife? There we go. The Catastrophe Wife. Excellent. That looks like it actually has buttons.
Elevator's online. We're coming up.
Please hurry. I think Hopkins is dead.
He tried to run. I told him not to, but he wanted to help the others. Where did everyone go?
I'm sorry. They didn't make it. Doctor, I need you to come with me.
Oh god. Yes, of course.
That's a lot of,
I
Blinding
was at
scare
another dig
voice.
site when they attacked. I got back as quick as I could, but what's happening?
Shepard, look.
Now we get to talk about it? What the fuck? We've seen like 3 of these so far.
It might have something to do with these paintings. Is that Leviathan?
Yes. Yes, we think so. It's old, much older than my father thought. And there, as if the natives were under its power. Clearly a Reaper, but acting alone. Not like any Reaper we've seen before.
I don't know, it doesn't...
I understand you found something recently.
The artifact. Yes, of course. Incredible. It's just ahead. May sound strange, but I'm certain it affects people. Their behavior. I've only had a short time to study it.
Not strange at all. Did you find anything?
Not much, but I did learn something about the energy it generates.
Get down!
Shooty shooty boom time, let's do this.
They've activated it. I've never managed anything. Doctor. They've learned too well. The darkness must not be breached.
Oh shit.
Shepard! Take it out!
Got it!
You okay? Cortez, we have Ann Bryson. Need a pickup.
On my way, Commander.
Copy
Oh
that.
fuck.
You see the shuttle? You run. Don't look back.
Okay. Yes.
Ooh, interesting time. Hashtag dead.
We need to get rid of that harvester.
Working on it. And it's dead. Was that supposed to be a challenge? Hold on. Was that supposed to be hard? It wasn't. Oops. Did I find the game-breaking gun? I think I did. I think I may have found the game-breaking gun. Yeah, that's nice.
Everybody, let's go!
Shuttle ready for evac, however... there's shit to get here, so, evac shuttle can wait a little bit? Just a little bit. Commander Shepard can have a couple of ammo upgrades, weapon upgrades. Oh, I guess we're... okay. I got too close. You're gonna go into a catatonic state as soon as I ask about this.
Yeah, Commander. I think so. I blacked out.
Leviathan took control of you. We cut the connection before you got hurt.
Leviathan itself? That's incredible.
The Reaper
Like
seem as
someone I
interested in it as
know,
we are.
like famous.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way.
Am I wrong?
We were hoping you could help us figure out why. But first, Doctor, I have some bad news.
Anne, please. Suppose Leviathan's broken away from the other Reapers. Never went back to dark space. Like a rogue, or even a defector. I have to call my father. He'll want to know.
Anne, you need to listen to me, okay? Your father is dead. I'm sorry.
He's... what? Dead?
Oh no.
He can't be dead.
We met with him, hoping to find out what he knew. Something happened.
Something happened?
You're not the first to lose control. Your father's assistant. One minute he was fine. The next... he drew a gun on your father. I couldn't stop him.
I can't believe this.
We have to find out what's behind it all. You're the only one who can help us. Anne?
I want to see his office.
We'll arrange for transportation and meet you there.
Weird.
Commander?
Nobody has anything to say about any of this, I'm sure. There we go. There we go. Hit the button, go to the place. Why does this keep unloading the page? What the fuck?
Hello? Anne?
You not hear the sobs, sweetie? Come on, Shepard. Alright, taking the commander hat off, putting on the therapist hat.
Commander. Yes, I'm sorry. Just... this is hard.
Of course. You alright?
Yes. No. I don't know. My father and I didn't leave things in a great state.
An argument?
Yes. It was trivial. A disagreement on how to file some of the specimens. I was mad about something else. I don't remember what. And I took it out on him. So stupid.
That's all right. I can come back.
No, please. I'm okay. Seeing all this again? He was so obsessed. Crazy sometimes.
I didn't get a chance to know him.
Oh, sometimes I felt the same way. He was a great man. A pioneer. But he could be distant. I felt like an inconvenience growing up.
You sound angry.
I was angry. Still am, I guess. But sometimes, he was so full of stories, he nearly burst. I loved that about him. It's why I signed up for this work. I can't believe he's gone.
We'll figure this out.
We have to. I need to know what's on the other end of that artifact. What he died for.
We need your help. You're our last chance.
You're right. Let me dig into my father's work to see what I can find.
And I was expecting the...
You sure you're up for this?
Yes. When Leviathan took control...
Hey, your father...
I remember being somewhere cold and dark.
Did the equip thing.
But my father taught me to never be afraid of the dark.
The encryption was near to his heart, and it was one of your drawings. Feels kind of important. Okay, this one right here, are we going to talk about it? It's, yeah. Excuse me. Excuse me again.
Hey, Lola. Need a hand?
What the fuck are you doing here?
What brings you down here, James?
Heard you're closing in on the Reaper killer. Anything that can scare those bastards has to be worth a look.
That's what I'm hoping.
Commander, you see this thing? This is great! Ouch! Hey, Edie. Husk bites, they don't turn you into a husk or anything, right?
I recommend you apply Metagel.
What's going on here?
Hey, if nobody claims this thing, we could take it with us. You know, for research or, I don't know, whatever.
James, you okay? Deliver this to your cabin. Oh, God. Do I do that? Just... I don't know how I feel about having a husk that follows your every movement and then inviting Garrus up to my cabin. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, imagine the cat that follows you into your room when you're having sex and then screams at you, except it's not meows, it's a human head that's just going, ah! It makes the hamster being scared makes sense.
All right, just don't tell anybody.
Nice.
All right.
Esteban will let me set up bowling pins in the cargo bay.
What's wrong with you? You are a special man. You are a special man. Hey, it's on again. That's a problem.
I'm still amazed your father got his hands on a piece of a Reaper.
He was so excited. Your claims validated years of work.
Did you take appropriate steps to prevent indoctrination?
Of course. It was completely shielded, and we all had regular psych evals. But now, thanks to the artifact, I'm indoctrinated anyway, aren't I? Might as well be a Arachnite drone waiting for orders from the Queen.
That's dark.
You studied the Rachni?
I wrote my dissertation on them. My father thought it was a waste of time, but now, it might actually help us understand Leviathan.
In what way?
We think of the Rachni as telepathic, but there's really no such thing. At short range, the Queen uses pheromones to give orders. At long range, she uses an organic
all right, she just clipped right through me.
Whatever Leviathan does must be similar, entangling particles to stimulate neural activity. It uses the artifact to establish a connection, and then it controls the mind of anyone near it.
We didn't detect any energy emissions from the artifact.
But the Reapers were able to use the artifact to trace Leviathan somehow.
My theory is that most of the time, the artifact simply acts as a receiver. We'll only be able to trace Leviathan through it when it actively takes control of someone.
As it did on the asteroid.
Right. Unless it needs something, Leviathan doesn't bother communicating. I guess it and my father had something in common.
Oof.
You said Leviathan's control was similar to a quantum entanglement communicator, which is untraceable.
Yes, but this isn't a natural QEC. Leviathan has to send a pulse through the artifact to alter your mind and create the quasi-QEC effect.
And that can be traced.
Right. Just like at the dig site. The Reapers were tracing the signal by activating the artifact. My father wanted to be at that dig site. He was getting too old for long digs, but he hated being stuck in the lab. He nearly missed my graduation because he was on a dig. Showed up still wearing his field gear. God, he'd have hated dying here.
And I know this is hard, but if there's anything more you can tell us.
I don't think there's anything more I can tell you. But maybe I can show you.
What are you saying?
The artifact only sends out a signal when Leviathan's controlling someone. So let it control me. You could trace the signal.
You mean let it take you over? That's too dangerous.
It's my call, not yours. You said I'm your last chance to find this thing.
We have no idea what will happen.
If we wait, the Reapers will get to Leviathan first. I'm the only one here who's spent enough time with it to do this. You're looking for something to fight the Reapers, Commander. I'm looking for the monster that murdered my father.
We still don't know what we're looking for.
Then let's find out.
Commander, this thing we're doing with Anne sounds dangerous as hell.
Noted. Edie?
Energy signature locked in, waiting for activation.
You sure about this?
Yes. I'm sure.
Oh, so that's why Jane is here.
Okay. I'm ready.
James, drop the containment shield.
Shield is
Need a pair of muscular arms.
Online. Anything?
Nothing yet. Wait. There's something. I feel a chill.
Edie?
No trace yet.
Holy hell!
Signal is tracking. Maintain connection.
Turn back. The darkness can't be breached.
Yo!
Maintain connection.
Listen to me. I found you, and the Reapers are right behind me.
You have brought them.
You are a threat.
So are you. I've seen what you can do. The war needs you.
There is no war. There is only the harvest.
Edie, do we have enough?
Partial lock. Maintain connection to narrow the search.
You heard her. We got enough. I'm hitting the shield.
Do it.
Man.
Anne, are you all right?
This is going well.
Yes. I think so.
Did we get anything?
Yes, but it will take some time to search. Coordinates sent to the Normandy.
Good. It's a start.
Yeah, that's... You know, it's fine.
I sense something else. Anger.
It knows we're getting close.
I think it wants to kill you.
Come on.
That's nice.
Let's get you some help.
It can kill a Reaper? Well, I've killed 4 by now, so, you know, I can kill a Reaper too. Just saying. You know. If I need to. You see, I have this little gun with this little suppressor on it. It might kill these guys. A little bit. Yippee! It's not the first thing that's wanted to kill me, honey. Oh, honey, it better get in line. I got a long galaxy worth of beings that want my head on a platter. Just call me St. Peter.
Commander?
We are going to finish the Leviathan DLC tonight. I am going to make that happen.
I found something.
All right. I had a 33% chance, and boom, nailed it.
These coordinates match our trace of Leviathan.
Okay. Let's go say hi. Garrus and Edie, because Edie's been with us this whole time. We're gonna make this happen. Of course, if Garrus is here, then that means that there's no way this is ending well for anyone on the other end of his gun. Just saying. Boo. Did I ever use it? All right, let's go. Time to find Leviathan. I have a suspicion.
Cortez, what's the status of the probe we launched?
Tracking it now, Commander. I've confirmed that Leviathan's signal originates from this planet. Heard how, Anne helped us locate it. It's pretty spooky stuff.
Makes you wonder what we're going to find down there.
Dr. Bryson classified Leviathan as a Reaper
scary
killer.
skeleton.
It appears it doesn't wish to be found.
It doesn't have a choice. We're here.
Right. But then what? It plays pretty rough, and if it is a Reaper, I don't know that's the kind of help we want.
Nobody says we have to be friends with it, but if this thing has the rest of the Reapers worried, then we need its help.
Commander, new readings from the probe. It's narrowed down Leviathan's location. You're not gonna like it.
Let me guess.
There's nothing but ocean. I show a concentration of structures floating on the surface, but the probe's giving us a signal below that. Way below.
Underwater?
Looks that way. The shuttle should still be able to reach it.
You're optimistic. Oh hey, it's the Death Star.
Kodiak is spec'd to nearly 1,000 atmospheres, but I've never actually tested that.
Guess we're gonna find out.
Status!
Some kind of pulse hit us! Systems are shutting down! Brace for impact!
Well, that's a good start. So this is where we get out when we have a dagger that we have to align with one part of a wreckage of a space station that was created after the dagger was created, because that definitely makes fucking sense. And then we follow the point to find the vault that lets us do the thing. Look, it's a Star Destroyer. I mean, tell me I'm
How's the
wrong.
shuttle, Cortez?
Checking now. I'll see if I can get power restored.
Copy that. We'll look around.
It would seem others have been stranded here as well. We aren't the first to encounter that pulse.
Could be Leviathan's last line of defense.
Can't say I recognize any of those ships. Just how long have they been here?
I mean, it's in English, so can't be that long, right? I mean,
Shepard got one of those artifacts.
Explains why no one gets out of here. Any idea how old these are?
The bones are untouched by scavengers. If they rotted clean from humidity and exposure, it might take more than a year.
the MSV Monarch. Well, that was a noise. Whom. Okay, this is going well. Oh yeah, the skeletons are human, for sure. So between the skeletons being human and the English signage, it's definitely a human ship. And the star dates are accurate to recent dates, so it's not particularly old. But based on what they've already said, wouldn't it be cool if we landed somewhere else instead of on a human ship?
Looks like a
Look, up there.
We've got company, Shepard. Must have been right behind
That
us.
is really bad. That was a really bad transition there. Just saying.
Cortez, situation?
Swapping out the parts, Commander. Hang on.
Oh fuck, okay. Alright, I get it, I get it, I get it. Don't stand here. Where's my grenade? Actually, that's a good question. Huh. Okay. There we go. Finally killed that guy.
Cortez! Almost there, Commander.
You're using the gun I gave you, right? Okay,
Cortez, what happened to almost there?
that was going well.
Fixing it now.
Oh fuck, there's another one. Oh hey, what's up, friendo?
Commander, on airborne.
Give us some cover fire!
Copy that.
Whew. Ah, fuck, okay. God damn it, more?
Another pulse hit me. Flight control scrambled.
God damn it, Cortez.
He's in trouble! Get to him!
Say, why is that not killing this person?
Commander, I've got enemy contact. Under fire.
Did I? Hope I didn't
Need
miss
some
that.
backup at the shuttle.
Um. He said cranny near the shelters.
Commander, I've got enemy contact. Under fire.
You have to wait, sweetie. Come on. Hop over the thing. Here we go. I do not see what I was looking for. No. Huh. I do not see. Unless maybe I already...
Commander, I've got enemy contact. Under fire.
Cortez, shut the fuck up. I'm coming. Alright.
Okay, we're clear!
Nice work, Commander. But there's a development. We need to talk.
We need to talk. Alright, well, you know, I know that this is hard on you, but I think we can work through this. I am open to couples therapy. I think that if we just... Oh, that's not what I was looking for. Cranial trauma system. I want all the upgrades to my gun. All of them. The upgrades. Give it to me. get to use.
Status.
Shuttle's a mess, Commander. That pulse knocked it right out of the air. We're not going anywhere.
Cool, good.
What about the Normandy?
Same thing would happen to her. And the landing won't be as pretty. I'd say Leviathan has some sort of defense system in place.
Obviously not a good enough defense system. Nice.
And we aren't getting out of here until we find it. So how do we do that?
Well, you might be able to use a mech. Looks like it's rigged for diving.
A diving mech?
It's a Triton model. Military grade, repurposed for deep sea exploration. As long as the seawater hasn't corroded, it should be good to go.
Well, if that's what we have to do, let's get started.
Shepard, perhaps you are unaware of the degree of risk. Are we seriously proposing...
First, we'll need to restore power to get that cargo door open.
How?
I guess we are.
Some Ballard-class ships are equipped with exterior power sockets. They use them for emergency repairs. We can strip the cells from the shuttle and use those for juice. Hang on, I'll get you started. Got a cell for you, Commander. Find somewhere to plug that in.
Right. Ah. This is an interesting. Okay. Let's see near it.
Another power cell for you, Commander.
No moment. Grab another cell, Shepard. We'll hold them off.
We'll hold them off. You haven't done it yet. I'm still fighting them. Thank you, Garrus. Thanks, sweetie. Oh, they drain. Oh, that's not fun. Yeah, I don't know why it's black. Something's obviously kind of messed up. Someone kill it, please. Thank you, please. 100%, let's go!
That mech is all yours. It should still have weapons capability.
Oh, we get in the big mech and we go shooty shoot.
Get to that mech, Commander. We could use the help.
Come on. Come on, Shepard, get in the fucking robot. Okay. Kill enemies.
before they come back.
Roger that. Walk the mech back to me when you're ready to dive. I should check it over first.
All right, Commander. Let's get you out of there, and I'll do a systems check.
Listen, Chip, I'm all for crazy ideas, but this one's off the charts.
None of the other ideas that we've done has actually been that crazy.
Now. The way home is through Leviathan.
Okay, SEALs check out. Oxygen pressure is nominal. Systems are a go. It's as ready as I can make it.
I want to take a look around first.
Oh, that
Come back
was
when
weird.
you're ready.
Weird. Okay. Yeah, the black hair moment's kind of strange. I wonder what's up with that. I've been in rainy parts of the game before, and it hasn't had this issue, so I don't... Yeah, see, now it's switched back. It's something about those lower levels. See, if I go back down here... Oh, no, now it's going to stay blocked. I don't know what's up then. Yeah, don't know what's up. So we've already checked all of those out. There's supposedly, see, now it's black again. Now it's not, and now it's black. Why? What's happening to my hair? There's supposed to be a pistol upgrade somewhere in here, and I can't remember if I got it or not. Actually, is there a way to check that? Of course not. Found anything. Did miss that survey data. Okay. Go ahead, please do. I don't want to miss this one because I know you can't get these from the requisition office after the fact, I don't believe. DLC ones don't seem to do that. Big shooty. Big shooty. Well, either I got it, or... Hold on. Oh, well, Elliot, you want to know what that coincidence is? I can tell you exactly what that coincidence is. It's undergraduate college fashion. Happen to know because of the sheer number of exact same outfits that I see on a regular basis. Because they just all buy the same shit. It's so hilarious. It's like you don't look fashionable. You are a fashion victim. You have not cultivated any style of your own. You are merely parroting what you have seen before. There's 2 artifacts here. Oh, I thought there was a... Okay, I got the ultralight one. I thought there was a cranial mod. Alright, we gotta get moving anyway. This is already quarter past.
Let's go.
So, my absolute favorite thing, I don't know if it's still a thing, but for a good long while...
I'll be fine. Closing hatch.
For a good long while... Oh, good.
Testing comlink.
I read you.
Canada Goose jackets. All the thing here. Like, someone on some forum decided that that was the only way you could keep warm in New England winter. Was this $800 jacket. I must have gotten it.
Suit holding up, Commander.
Looks good so far.
Copy that.
Well,
Cortez? Cortez!
that went well. This is gonna be freaky. Yeah, the Canada Goose thing, I just can't get behind it. For me, I'm like, they don't look that good. Sure, they might keep you warm, but like, at what cost? And that's the thing, right, Ragnarok? And like, around the same time, I remember one of my students who was working for me, she came from Florida. And she had never, I think, yeah, she was a freshman that year. Because this was her first semester at the university in Boston.
Looks like I've finished the major descent. Can't see much from here. Suit is holding up. Emergency systems have come online. Life support operational.
Yeah, but the suit is not happy. Do you see that pressure gauge right there?
Scanner indicates the probe is below my position. Going for a way down.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Elliot, that is absolutely the college uniform right now.
Shutting down all non-critical systems to preserve remaining power. Not sure how much juice the emergency thruster will need to get me back to the surface. Can't worry about that now.
So she was from Florida. This was her first year in Boston. Oh my god, alright. Shepard, I need you to just stop. I'm in the middle of story time here. She was brand new to Boston. She had never been here before. I asked her if she had a winter coat, and she's like, well, yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, what is it? She's like, what do you mean? Like, what brand is it? Like, what kind of jacket is it? What is it rated for? And she's like, oh, I don't know. It's a North Face. I'm like, is it the North Face jacket that I'm thinking of? The black one that everybody has? And she's like, well, yeah. I'm like, that's not going to be enough, honey. And she's like, well, what else do I get? Just like a Canada Goose jacket? I'm like, no, you march your butt down over to Goodwill and you pick up like one of 3 jackets. It's like an LOB and a Columbia, or what's the other one that I send people towards? Crap, I'm forgetting. I forget. But like, they get a ski jacket. Like, they're gonna keep you warm. Because no, your North Face plus a bunch of Patagonia. That's it, thank you. Your North Face plus a bunch of hoodies will not keep you warm in the middle of a New England winter. And guess what? She ended up going out and buying a jacket. She told me, oh my god, it's such a difference. Because, well, mind you, she was already starting to layer those hoodies and use that North Face in like October. And I was like, honey, it's gonna get so much worse from here. You were gonna be like dead by January unless you do something else. Like, you are from Florida, and this right now is the opposite of whatever Florida ever has been.
Something is definitely down there.
For a long while, actually, one of my go-to ski jackets was a CB jacket, which is a vintage brand from the 70s. That was fun. It looked pretty good on me too. I really liked it. It was very warm all the time. I think it was synthetic down, I think. It wasn't actual down. I don't really like wearing actual down because I'm allergic to some of it, but...
Looks like the final drop. Can't see anything just yet.
Gauge is very unhappy. Ugh.
Found the probe. Seems intact. I'm gonna keep moving.
mean, Boston in the wintertime can be quite gorgeous.
What is that?
Oh boy, here we go. Called it.
I had to find you.
This is not your domain. You have breached the darkness.
You killed a Reaper. I need to know why.
They are the enemy. One that seeks our extermination.
But I thought you were a Reaper.
They are only echoes. We existed long before.
Then
yeah.
Where are you?
Something more.
Oh boy.
Your mind belongs to me. Breathe.
Anne? What's happening?
Your memories give voice to our words. Your nature will be revealed to us. Accept this.
The galaxy's at war with the Reapers. You defeated one. Why aren't you fighting back?
There is no war. There is only the harvest.
Then help us stop it.
None have possessed the strength in past cycles. Your own species could be destroyed with a single thought. But you are different. I have witnessed your actions in this cycle. The destruction of Sovereign, the fall of the Collectors. The Reapers perceive you as a threat. And I must understand why.
Because I can fuck shit up.
Through the cycles, our kind was the apex of life in the galaxy. The lesser species were in our thrall, serving our needs. We grew more powerful and they were cared for, but we could not protect them from themselves.
Premises?
Over time, the species built machines that then destroyed them. Tribute does not flow from a dead race.
Tribute does not flow. Okay.
We created an intelligence with a mandate to preserve life at any cost.
Which meant...
Intelligence evolved. It studied the development of civilizations. Its understanding grew until it found a solution.
Yeah, and that intelligence was the Reapers because you based them on your own organic...
It chose our kind as the first harvest. From our essence, the first Reaper was created. You call it Harbinger.
Tell me about the Reapers.
Each harvest ends with the birth of a Reaper, perfect in its design. Each formed in Harbinger's image. Our image. Each Reaper has the power to influence organics. Over countless cycles, this ability was refined, perfected, and gave rise to indoctrination.
But what's the point of all these harvests?
The intelligence has one purpose: preservation of life. That purpose is not being fulfilled. It directed the Reapers to create the mass relays to speed the time between cycles for greatest efficiency. The galaxy itself became an experiment. Evolution its tool.
Will it ever end?
Unknown. Until the intelligence finds what it's looking for, the harvest will continue.
That is
You built that
a
machine
suck
despite
point.
what you saw the other races experience. Why?
Because you thought you were better.
Conceive of a galaxy that bends to your will. Every creature, every nation, every planet we discovered became our tools. We were above the concerns of lesser species.
There it is.
The intelligence was envisioned as simply another tool.
And now we all pay the price for your mistake.
There was no mistake. It still serves its purpose.
How did you remain hidden all this time?
Our extermination was not complete. Some survived and found refuge in the dark corners of the galaxy. I am their progeny. Over the cycles, the Thrall races were controlled, removing traces of our existence as we directed them to. In this way, our survival was kept secret from the Reapers. Today, we reach out through the fragments and watch for discovery.
Fragments? You mean the artifacts we found?
They provide a window into the galaxy. Tools for exploring the events of this cycle from the safety of this world. Through them, we watch, we study, and remain in the shadows.
How did the intelligence defeat you?
To find a solution, it required information. Physical data drawn from organic life in the cosmos. It created an army of pawns that searched the galaxy, gathering this data. There was no warning. No reason given when they turned against us. Only slaughter. Only the harvest.
What do you know about the Crucible?
We have watched its construction before. It has never been completed. Those who have tried still fell victim to the harvest. Its outcome is unknown.
Okay, you made your point. Will you help stop the cycle?
I have searched your mind. You are an anomaly, yet that is not enough.
Wait!
Bitch. Bring it on.
Continue.
No! You've been watching. You know this cycle is different.
We will survive. You will remain here as a servant of our needs. The Reapers will harvest the rest.
If you release me, no one has to be harvested.
Nothing will change.
The Reapers know where you are. You can't just watch anymore. You have to fight. Even if you survive the battle today, the Reapers won't stop. Ever. Release me and we have a chance to end this once and for all.
That's a neat shot. Very Bioshock.
Singular.
I've earned it. Out there
Slash.
fighting, where you should be.
Lovecraft.
Reapers perceive you as a threat. Your victories are more than a product of chance.
Yeah, it's a product of my badassery.
Not for you or any lesser race. We were the first, the apex race. We will survive. And the Reapers who trespass on this world will understand our power. They will become our slaves. Today, they pay their tribute in blood.
Okay. Yeah, that's weird.
Damn it, we got a Reaper inbound!
No big deal, just unleashing another world-ending species, I know, right? Fucking... Well, I don't like them.
Shepard, wake up! She's freezing. You okay?
You okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. Hell of
Then we never hear from them again, I know, right?
Never do that again.
Oh. Oh, baby.
I got Ann Bryson on the comm.
Good. Put her through.
Commander.
You feeling better?
Yes, thank you. I'm doing fine. What happened?
We found it, Anne. We found Leviathan.
Was it worth it?
I don't know. We proved it can't hide anymore. That it's a part of this war just like us.
Sounds like an amazing story.
One for the history books.
Well, I look forward to hearing all about it. My father would appreciate this, knowing the truth is out there.
Truth is out there.
In the meantime, Admiral Hackett has asked me to join his scientific team. We all have a part to play. I should get to it.
Take care, Anne. And thanks for all your help. Shepard out.
Commander, I finished reading your report.
Oh, nope.
The Alliance wanted more intelligence on the Reapers. I'd say we got it.
Our people will be studying it for years to come. They're already calling it the Leviathan Codex. It rewrites galactic history as we know it.
Whatever else it means, it tells me the Reapers had a beginning. And maybe now we'll provide them with an end.
That's one way to look at it. I guess it's the only way. So go out there and make it happen. This is a big step in the right direction, Shepard. Good work.
Thank you, sir.
Hackett out.
Okay. Let's read that journal entry, thank you very much.
The Asari were in the early 2160s, the Alliance began
Ba-da-ba-da. Okay. Yep, that didn't necessarily tell me anything. Leviathan enthrallment team. Right. And, huh? Huh. Okay. I'm guessing nobody has anything to say about this one. They didn't even say anything. Not even an email. Yikes. Okay, well, it's time for bed. It's very aggressively time for bed. It is half an hour past when I wanted to be done. I messed up. Ow, ow. Ooh, ow. That hurt. I should not have pulled my hair. What? Ooh. I didn't swap my thing. Whoops. Okay. Well, thank you all for joining me yet again on a lovely Tuesday evening. It was lovely, though. It was nice that this was, like, not... So, I'm happy about that. Anyway, so thank you all for tuning in, as usual. This was interesting. Telegraphed a lot of its moves way ahead of time. So that's a bit of a shame. Because I kind of saw what was coming way before it was actually happening. So, Thursday, not sure what we're going to cover yet. Not sure. Trying to decide between sticking to the little list thing that I have here, letting me know that the next thing I should do is Citadel. But I also kind of want to make that the last thing we do so that we end on a little bit more of an upbeat note. So I happen to know that Citadel does not end the same way that Mass Effect 3. There's more sad at the end of 3. And then Citadel was supposed to be like, don't worry, everything's happy for a little bit more time kind of a thing. But like story-wise, it kind of fits in before the end. But maybe I can just make my own canon. I don't know. We'll determine that. We'll figure that out. Discuss that in the Discord. So if you're new and you haven't joined yet, feel free to join our Discord. It shows up in the chat right there. Feel free to click that link and you'll get an invitation to our little spot. And also follow me on at BOSTrophyWife, both on Instagram and on Twitter, where I announce all of my streams ahead of time, though Discord will be the best and most reliable way of communication. As I have mentioned before on the stream, and I will continue to mention, I am in the process of attempting to purchase a new vehicle, and therefore, if you can support me on Ko-fi, I would greatly appreciate it. Feel free to click that link. You can purchase any number of coffees. I don't actually know how it's pronounced. I've heard it coffee recently. That makes sense, but K-O-F-I does not read coffee to me, but okay. If it was K-O-H-F-I, then I could see it, but it looks like Ko-fi to me. Maybe I'm wrong. And as always, thank you so much to my subscribers for all of your support. I actually will be getting paid this month probably, or at least get the notification that I'm getting paid. So that'll be exciting. It's the 15th of the month, I think, is when I'll get the little thing. But like, I look at my balance right now, and that's as of August. And the balance that I have right now as of August has me at like $95, which this will put me over 100, and then I will get a payout. So I will finally get paid for 2 years of streaming. Oh well. It's not like I started this for the money anyway, so I'm just happy to be here. Anyway, with that, I will bid you all a good night. I will see you all again on Thursday, I hope, at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight, same time as always, where we will do something with Mass Effect 3. Not sure yet. We'll talk about that in the Discord, like I said. Until then, have a good night. I hope that the next couple of days of your week go smoothly. I hope that for everybody, including myself. So deep breaths. We will get through this. And I'll see you on Thursday, everyone. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Mwah.